Hey, welcome to ZooBricks. My name is Maxine and I'm trying to build the world's largest Lego zoo. Now I have got a mountainous task ahead because in a few weeks' time it is going to be Shildon Brick Show, which is the largest free Lego event in the UK, and it's down in Durham. It's about an hour away from me, and this is going to be my first ever Lego stall, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Now you will have seen in last week's video that I've already done one build for this, and that is this guy over here, David Attenborough. And I had a load of positive feedback about that from you, and obviously we're going to go with classic David Attenborough in that. I've been building a Lego QR code for my stand, which for some reason works really well on iPhones, but not as well on like Android devices. Don't know. Anyways, and I've also been toying with how much of my zoo I can take with me. So I've applied for 2 tables, which are 6 foot by 2.5 feet. So I've measured it out on the table, and I've got little markers down here. So there's 5 foot, and then all the way around the corner over here is 6 foot. So that is the size of the plot that I've got. So this is the bit that I'm thinking about taking, and obviously we are nowhere near ready to go. I was literally just down at the Metro Centre the other night retrieving my Red Panda exhibit, because that has been on display in the Lego store at the Metro Centre for the past 3 months. So now that this has returned, which is so exciting, I am going to be building this exhibit into the zoo, so that when I show up at Shildon Brick Show in a few weeks' time, we've got this small animal enclosure, which is like hamsters or guinea pigs, gift shop, goat enclosure, Red Panda enclosure, so the botanical garden will not be there, and the otter enclosure, and of course this castle and the car park. And I need to get it all planted up. Like, this is a massive task. And yeah, as much as I would like to take the botanical garden, this comes on a 2x2 base plate, so therefore there's just not enough space on my table. Okay, so obviously this is a freestanding exhibit that I built, and if you haven't seen the video for it already, I'll pop it in the description there. But I built it on a bit of a wonk, so I can't just place that on there. Also, this is kind of like Red Pandas in the wild, because there's no enclosure barriers there. So it's going to be a little bit sad, because I'm going to be completely destroying this, but I'll need to reuse the parts anyways, and I'm going to try and place it here. Now, the idea that I had originally was putting the pagoda at the back here. That needs to be slightly raised up, and then that house sits in there, and then having the fence come around. So this is going to be quite a big task. I don't know why I thought it would be a plausible option to just plonk the enclosure on top of the existing base plates. So of course I'm going to have to remove all of the green plate that I've put onto these base plates and get it back down to the flat. I didn't really feel like taking all the planting and the actual physical structure of the Red Panda enclosure apart, so I wanted to just kind of keep it on the base plate it was already on to leave most of the planting and the landscaping intact. But in order to do this, I needed to raise the plate up around this little landscaping patch to kind of blend it in. So I've pretty much finished integrating the Red Panda enclosure into the zoo. And I was very, very kindly donated some of this lovely reddish brown kind of log lap brick from one of the viewers on YouTube, Tony. So many thanks again, because that has allowed me to actually turn this into an enclosure, which is super cool, and actually integrate this enclosure into the zoo. And what's really nice about it, because in one of my earlier videos about the original Red Panda enclosure when I was first building it, was trying to decide what to do about the fence, and I had like red fence and I had some really weird colored stuff going on. So it's really awesome to get some more of that reddish brown brick so that I can actually match the enclosures up, and that means that the next enclosure as well can be like the same and it can all be nice and themed. Now, I have made a mistake. So Red Pandas are super duper escape artists. So the fence comes along here and I've put in this little panel here. You connect that bit of fence down to that so that the Red Pandas can access the nest boxes, but then there's this lovely overhang here and then they can't get out. And then I was going to do the same on this side, but then I realized there's no gates for the keepers to get in. And actually this is the double door to the house because inside of there is the nest boxes. So the keeper comes along this visitor footpath here. It's going to be a gate here, and this is the keeper footpath to get to the Red Panda off-show house. And this is going to be the footpath to get to the otter house, bearing in mind that this entire plate is turned 90 degrees because that's the other footprint of the otter house there. I've just moved it so I can work on it. So the keeper needs to come inside of this house, go into the double door and enter the enclosure. And I have put this fence here, which is wrong. So actually I need to bring this fence along here and meet it up to there, so that this bit here is the access for the keepers to get into this enclosure safely without these naughty little beasts escaping. So I just need to change that now. The keepers can safely enter the enclosure without the red pandas escaping. So that is now a solid wall there going across there, and it's kind of stepped up so that there's a anti-climb. So the keepers can enter through that door there. And then on this side, there is the keeper door, which goes out onto the paddock, which again has a raised wall so that the red panda can't climb on there. Could probably jump out here. I might need to raise that one out. And then the keepers can get into the actual red panda enclosure. And the walls in the red panda enclosure are nice and smooth so that they technically can't climb it. But red pandas are super duper escape artists, so it's probably going to happen at some point. But I'm pleased with how it's integrated into the zoo. I've also finished the path off a little bit in between these two enclosures, so the otters and the red pandas. Any little gaps I've kind of filled with weeds because that's kind of what naturally happens. And I've also done the path up here between the red pandas and the goats as well. So yeah, it's looking pretty good for the display piece for the Shildon Brick show. What I want to do, my aim is, here's the red pandas, my aim is to have these base plates covered with plants as much as possible. That's going to be kind of like the front view of it. And then I've left all of these little jumpers on the paths there, so that I can actually put minifigures in. And obviously I know there's quite a few gaps in the base plates there, but I'll have them all pinned together and pegged really, really nicely. So the next thing that I've got to do is make some educational signage. So we're just going to stick with the 1, 2, 3, 4 exhibits for the kind of zoo display that I've got. So I want to make some kind of Lego themed educational zoo signage. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll start working on that ready for the next update. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep planting. Planting. We've got so many plants that I've got to plant here. And I also need to finish off the snowy bit around this castle thing. I'm not really happy with how that looks right now, but we'll get there. But what do you think about the red panda enclosure? I think it looks really, really smart. Obviously the botanical garden has been pushed aside there, but it'll fit in somewhere further down the line. So I just need to finish off this bit of path here because this is like the keeper path going there. I need to put a gate across there and build another keeper path here to the otter house because this is where the otter halts are. That's the wrong way around. There we go. There's the otter house there. So we need a keeper path going along there as well. And it'll be really exciting the day that I start putting minifigures in here, and that is going to happen in the next few weeks. So be sure to stay tuned.